All rise. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. This Circuit Court of the 11th Judicial Circuit in and for Miami-Dade County is now in session. The Honorable Judge Nushin Safety presiding. All persons having business before this court, come nigh and you shall be heard. God save the United States of America and this honorable court.
Thank you, Lair. Apparently yesterday, because it's been a while since we did investiture, I forgot to wait for the oye part. So to those of you that were here yesterday, I'm sorry. Thank you all very much. Good afternoon, family, friends, guests here and in our overflow rooms and out there on our YouTube channel. Thank you all for being here on the occasion of the investiture of the Honorable Alicia Garcia Priovolos as County Court Judge of the 11th Judicial Circuit of Florida. Please remain standing as we ask some very special guests to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Judge Garcia Priovolos' children, Sophia, 11, and Lucas, age 8.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was awesome. Sophia is in charge, clearly. Please remain standing as we ask the Very Reverend Spiro Bobitas from, I'm so sorry if I butchered your name, sir, from the beautiful St. Sophia Greek Orthodox Cathedral.
I am honored and blessed to be before you for this invocation for my dear parishioner, neighbor, and friend, the Honorable Judge Alicia Garcia Priovolos. Abraham Lincoln wrote this prayer in 1860 to a friend. May the Almighty grant that the cause of truth, justice, and humanity shall in no wise suffer at my hand. Poignant words which reminds us of the awesome responsibility given to those who ascend to the bench. And receiving this responsibility, we pray for our dear Alicia. O God, our Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer, we give thanks to you for your servant Alicia, her family, her friends, as well as all the members of the judicial staff present at this investiture. We ask that you bless your servant Alicia as she takes her new position on the bench, and to arm her with respect and adherence to the law for all who will appear before her. Grant her the continued spirit that values all persons, regardless of their social or economical class, ethnicity, or color. Arm her with the wisdom of Solomon, the patience of Job, and the strength and the fortitude required to perform her duties. Shower her with an abundant blessing so that this day may be the beginning of a lifetime of judicial excellence and service. For you are the source, the beginning and the ending of all our endeavors, and to you do we give glory, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, now and forever, and to the ages of ages. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Everyone, please be seated. second day of a full house of VIPs. So please, if you hear your name, stand up and be recognized. And for those of you that are out there on YouTube, we're going to be recognizing you here as well. First, back by popular demand, Alex Bachlagos, former president of Miami-Dade Fall. From the Miami-Dade County Public Schools, John, I'm sorry, I cannot read the last name. Is a handwritten name? Pace? John Pace, Deputy Superintendent. From across the street, our Miami-Dade County Commissioners, we have Keone McGee here from District 9 and Kevin Cabrera here from District 6. From the 3rd District Court of Appeal, we have Judges Monica Gordo and Alex Boker. Also known as alums of the Circuit and County Courts. And from our court family and alumni, and I think he's out there in the audience, retired Judge Andrew Haig. From the Caribbean Bar Association, the president-elect, Lara Dubdub. With us via live stream from the Coral Gables Bar Association, past president and husband of Judge Scanziani, Paul John Scanziani. Wearing 2 hats today, we have Javi Le Soto, who's president-elect of the Cuban American Bar Association, but also general counsel of Miami-Dade College. Representing the Miami-Dade Bar Association, we have Isabel Wong. Also representing the Florida Association of Women Lawyers, Miami-Dade chapter, we have Chairwoman Marianne Ruiz. And also from the Miami-Dade Trial Lawyers, we have Alan Alvarez. From the Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, we have Jude Fachadomo, the president statewide. And Betty Urente, the secretary, also statewide. And from the Miami-Dade chapter, President Mike Davis. From the Gwen S. Cherry Black Women Lawyers Association, we have Michelle Samru, president, also an alum of the courts. League of Prosecutors, Ben Gellis, president. And with us via live stream, Trinette Zarin, who's the immediate past president of Miami Lakes Bar Association. And Dean Page is here from Florida International University School of Law. From the Spanish American League Against Discrimination, we have Juan Diarce. I think you're president now, correct? I just see that? President. Congratulations, Juan. And from the Miami-Dade County League of Cities, we have Richard Cooper, the executive director. And that's all I have on my list. If there's anyone I've forgotten, I'm sure my phone will start blowing up. The number to beat is 12. If you get more than 12, you've beat, who was it yesterday who had 12? There I had 12 text messages telling me that I'd forgotten one of the commissioners. So that's the number to beat today. Also here today, we have members of our outer court family, our justice partners. On behalf of Public Defender Carlos Martinez, we have Rick DeMaria. And we have our state attorney, Catherine Fernandez-Rendell. Yesterday was a proud day for Judge Mercy Bach. Today is a proud day for Ms. Rendell, I know. On behalf of our regional counsel, Jean Zanobi, we have Annette Gomez. And we have our newly sworn-in clerk of courts, Luis Montaldo. And supporting our day-to-day court operations, our inter-court family, honestly, the people that keep us running day-to-day, representing our administrative office of the courts. First, we have our trial court administrator on her second day as trial court administrator in an investiture, Deirdre Dunham. our General Counsel, Pat Gladson. We have Eunice Sigler, our Public Information Officer, who's running around, making sure everything is working. And my staff, Larry Chester, the Chief Bailiff, who you just met a few minutes ago. My assistant, Ara Johnson. And big giant thanks to our AV department, the men and women that make it possible for us to not just have this event, not just memorialize it, but now be able to broadcast it, across the world on YouTube. So thank you very much to all of them for making this happen. And for remarks on behalf now of the Miami-Dade Trial Lawyers Association, we have first Christos Lagos, who's on the board of directors, also a friend and very good attorney. And on top of that, I think he was here yesterday, right, celebrating?
Indeed.
So it's a big day for the Box and the Lagoses.
May it please the court. On behalf of the Miami-Dade Trial Lawyers Association, it's an honor to be here. I'm Christos Lagos. I'm a partner at Lagos and Priovolos with Alicia's husband, John. Hence the exotic name, Priovolos. Alicia is Greek by marriage. Now, you may have noticed an inordinate amount of Greeks in the audience today. Don't be alarmed. Our culture is very similar to the many cultures in Miami-Dade County. So how often does something like this happen in life, where all of your loved ones come together and honor and celebrate someone? A wedding is one example. So I am unofficially changing today's event to my big fat Greek investiture. So what a wonderful day. It seems like only yesterday my brother-in-law was invested as a county judge. But today, Alicia, it's your day, and I'm going to talk about Alicia. Alicia is eminently qualified to be a judge. She served as a state attorney for over 16 years. She grew up in Miami-Dade County. She was educated in Miami-Dade County, and she's raising her children in Miami-Dade County. She knows this community at a very deep level. She will absolutely be an asset to this bench. Now, we have a phenomenal group of benches in Miami-Dade County, exceptional. I've been a practicing lawyer for 24 years, and I have appeared before many great judges. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 qualities that will make Alicia a great judge. First, great judges have discipline. Alicia's colleagues at the state attorney's office will all attest to her discipline. But here's an extracurricular fact. She has completed Ironman triathlons. Let me tell you what that means if you don't know. That's a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bicycle ride, followed by a marathon, 26.2 miles in that order. I would drown in the first quarter of a mile. Wait, I have an irresistible urge. Triathlon is a Greek word. Tria means 3. I digressed. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that again. I'm sorry. So, Alicia now, as a busy working mom, cycles indoors. And I know this because one morning I went into my partner's office and I saw there was a new frame on his desk. And I see it and I said, hey, what's that all about? And he's like, all right, let me explain. Alicia and I were discussing getting a Peloton, but we also know a lot of people use Pelotons to hang clothes, and they never get used. So when we had this discussion, we said, if we're going to get one, we have to commit to using it. So she says, oh, you'll see me on that every day. So she gave him a frame of herself on the Peloton. It's on his desk, and there you go. She made good on her promise. She also does use it, for the record, but here it's guaranteed. But back to the state attorney's office, her discipline has resulted in so many awards, including Prosecutor of the Year. She will be a great judge because she's disciplined. Next, a great judge is humble. It requires a tremendous amount of responsibility on your shoulders to be a judge, to be sitting in judgment, and to do the things that our bench has to do on a daily basis. But with that responsibility comes a lot of power and respect. You saw that when we all were starting the court proceedings. All rise. We know, everybody in a courtroom that is in session knows the power and respect that judges have. A great judge balances that power with humility. Alicia doesn't talk about how and what she's overcome. She doesn't talk incessantly about her accomplishments. She's going to be a great judge because she's humble. Finally, a great judge is compassionate. Alicia already has taken the bench and shown everybody in the courtroom, even jurors, she had a jury trial recently, litigants pro se in the people's court and the county court, she's already shown compassion to everyone, just like she did when she was a prosecutor. Compassion can be summed up by the golden rule, which demands that we treat others the way we want to be treated. Alicia believes in the golden rule. Alicia lives it. Alicia is going to be a great judge because she's got compassion. Today is a wonderful day for everyone here. And it's a wonderful day for the citizens of Miami-Dade County. And as one fellow citizen of Miami-Dade County would put it, DJ Khaled, we've got another one. Another great judge on the bench. Alicia, congratulations from the bottom of my heart, and God bless.
And now for further remarks on behalf of the Miami-Dade Bar Association, we welcome back Distinguished Attorney and President of the organization, Roger Slade.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the judiciary, public officials, friends, and family members of Judge Priovolos, it's my pleasure to speak about Judge Priovolos on behalf of the Miami-Dade Bar. One of the goals of our judiciary and of the Miami-Dade Bar Association is to help attract the best and the brightest candidates to the Miami-Dade bench. Based upon my independent review, there is no question that Judge Priovolos is one of the best and brightest. Now, I never met her before today, but I did speak to her on the phone. And what I found remarkable about her, as our colleague just mentioned, is her incredible modesty. I asked her a lot of questions about her background, and nonetheless, after the call, I left with a nagging sense that there was something missing. She's more than extremely modest. I had maybe this much information about her, and I did my own research, and I found an avalanche of information that just wasn't there. She never told me. So I'm going to just try to tell you what I found. And most of you may know all these things already, and some may not. Well, we know she was an assistant state attorney at the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office for 16 years, and that during that time she prosecuted some of the most serious crimes Miami-Dade County has seen: homicides, sexual batteries, organized crime, human trafficking, and she also supervised and trained other U.S. attorneys. In 2018, Catherine Fernandez-Rundle appointed her to be the director of the Human Trafficking Unit, which she held this position until April of 2022. As the director, Ms. Garcia Priovolos, Judge Priovolos, supervised all the human trafficking prosecutions in the office and led the state attorney's human trafficking task force, which investigated human trafficking crimes throughout the county and conducted recoveries of missing and exploited youth. She also collaborated with state and federal law enforcement agencies, advocated for changes in legislation, and trained first responders on human trafficking identification and investigations. She served as a guest speaker at many community outreach events and aimed to raise public awareness about human trafficking. Most notably, in 2020, the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office led a community initiative to combat sex trafficking during the Super Bowl. Through collaborative efforts, 20 victims of human trafficking were recovered, and a major community awareness campaign was executed through 3 counties. She led much of the collaboration between the Super Bowl host committee, the Women's Fund, and numerous state and federal law enforcement agencies that accomplished this undertaking. So in light of her many contributions to the community in 2020, Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody awarded her Prosecutor of the Year at the annual Human Trafficking Summit. She also received the 2020 and 2021 Prosecutor of the Year award by the League of Prosecutors. Judge Priovolos obtained a law degree from Florida International University. She was part of the inaugural class. She received multiple accolades there, and apparently she won 5 book awards. Now, I promise you that Judge Priovolos did not tell me any of these things in my conversation with her. This reflects her intense modesty, and obviously she's not here to trumpet her accomplishments or to pad her resume. It seems more than obvious to me that she's here for everybody in this community, that she's here for me, she's here for all of Miami-Dade County, and she's just another example of the best and the brightest judicial candidates that we've attracted to this bench in recent years. I want to say thank you to Judge Priovolos and congratulations for all your wonderful accomplishments. We know you're going to do very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a brief moment and recognize some of the swag that Judge Priovolos now has to decorate her office. Last time we were doing investitures, there weren't this many. Okay, from the Miami-Dade chapter of Florida Association of Women Lawyers, you have a beautiful plaque here. I'm going to start needing some assistance with this. From the Spanish American League Against Discrimination, from the Cuban American Bar Association, from the Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. I'm pretty sure this one's from the trial lawyers. We're going to have to start labeling these so I don't have to have these awkward moments. Yes, from the Miami-Dade trial lawyers, you have a gavel. And your desk plate from the Conference of County Court Judges. So your office is going to be well adorned now, Judge Priovolos. Now for remarks on behalf of the judge's family and friends, we have a close friend, former colleague of the judge, and just a genuinely wonderful human being, Marie Mato, the Assistant State Attorney.
Thank you, Judge Saifi. May it please the court, Chief Judge Saifi, members of the judiciary, distinguished guests, family and friends of the Honorable Alicia Garcia Priovolos. Chris, you're a tough act to follow, truly. I would just make one slight addition to the big fat Greek investiture. It's more like the big fat Greek Spanish investiture. Thank you, Alicia, for asking me to be one of your personal speakers. I'm truly honored to do so and share with all of you why I love and respect her so much, but just being in this room, I know that you all feel the same way. Alicia is first generation. She's born and raised in Miami from Spanish parents. She would spend her summers in the north of Spain, in Galicia, where her family is from, and kept close to her Spanish roots. And in fact, she was baptized and received her first communion at the Cathedral Santiago de Compostela, which many are familiar with because they've done the Camino. She comes from a working class family who often struggled to make ends meet. So since the age of 15, she's been working nonstop. At that young age, she was here by herself in North Miami while her family was back home in Spain. She worked all kinds of jobs. She was a bank teller, a cashier at Cluckers, a restaurant hostess, did accounting work, all so she could put herself through school and pursue her dream of becoming a lawyer. And she did that. She put herself through school where she excelled. She is the definition of self-made. She graduated from North Miami Senior High with honors, then from FIU in 2002, magna cum laude, with a degree in psychology. She then was accepted into FIU's first law school class, where she won book awards, won Best Brief in the 2004 Florida Bar's Moot Court competition, and graduated top of her class in 2005. Now, after so many years of hard work, with bar license in hand, the golden ticket, so to speak, you'd think she'd go for the money, right? Go to any prominent law firm, end her struggles. She certainly could have, but instead, she followed her heart and took the road less traveled and became a public servant. In August 2005, she began her career at the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office, where we met and where she would spend the next 17 years serving our community as a prosecutor, her dream job. She worked her way through county court domestics and the regular felony divisions, prosecuting all kinds of crimes, and then went into specialized units, such as felony domestics, career criminal, and organized crime, or OC, as we call it. Now, funny story about how she got to OC. So it turns out that in the summer of 2007, Alicia was vacationing in Spain with her family when she heard on the news that there was this huge case in Miami involving one of her favorite Spanish singers, Alejandro Sanz. Some of you may remember this. Turns out he was being blackmailed to the tune of $500,000 by a couple who worked for him. So he went to the police, and the case came to the SAO. Now, immediately, Alicia Garcia called John Priovolos, a friend and fellow prosecutor, to find out who was handling the case. Now, at that time, they weren't dating, and John decided that he really wanted to change that. And he was smitten, of course, by the Penelope Cruz look-alike, often following her into court, Judge Izzy Reyes' courtroom to be precise. And let's be honest, he was a bit of a stalker. So John decided this was his chance to impress her, win some brownie points by not only finding out who was on the case, but getting her on the case as second chair. So when John found out that Michael Van Zomt, one of our senior lawyers, was on it, he went up to see him. And he asked Michael for a favor. Michael's first question was, does she speak Spanish? Yes, of course. Is she any good? Absolutely. Now, the rest, needless to say, is history. Michael brought Alicia on the case, successfully prosecuted it, recruited her into the OC unit, and became one of her mentors, and John became the luckiest guy at the SAO. Now, interesting side note, turns out that Alicia and John met as little kids in New York because her father worked with John's uncles in the same restaurant. And there are pictures of them as little kids, the future power couple, to prove it. Destiny is inescapable, and God truly works in mysterious ways. Now, I got to try a case with Alicia after she left OC while she was a felony division chief, prosecuting homicides and supervising and mentoring younger lawyers. When we tried that case, Alicia was very pregnant with her son Lucas. Never once did she complain. And I got to know the kind of lawyer she was. I learned she loves the law and legal research. She's analytical. She thinks outside the box. She comes up with angles that you never thought of. And that's all fantastic. But what made her a great prosecutor is that she was about doing things the right way, striving always to achieve justice. Now, before being elected to the bench last year, Alicia served for the last 4 years as director of the Human Trafficking Unit, where she not only prosecuted those crimes, but she went across the county, not only educating the public, but also training law enforcement officers and victim advocates on how to best combat human trafficking and treat those very special victims. Her exceptional advocacy, professionalism, and integrity have been recognized throughout the years, as our other speakers have mentioned. Most recently in 2020, when she was awarded the Prosecutor of the Year award by not only the Florida Attorney General, but also by the League of Prosecutors. Now, during all these years, I've gotten to know her. She's a bit of a tough nut to crack. That's the Spanish in her, because she's naturally introverted. And though sometimes people may confuse that natural nature of hers, once she opens up, you discover that she's very warm, she's loving, she's funny, she's adventurous, and she's loyal. And when she gives you her word, you can count on it. She takes care of all those around her. She helped raise her little brother, Alex, who's with us today, often joking he's her first child, and that's not a joke. Though the path was a little rocky, thanks to her love and support and that of John's, Alex graduated last year from medical school. When her mother, Rosa, was diagnosed with cancer, Alicia was at her side, flying back and forth countless times to Spain, holding her hand till the very end. I witnessed her absolute devotion. And I learned that though she's a great lawyer, more importantly, above all, she's an amazing human being. I know, Alicia, that your guardian angel is watching today, and she's celebrating, beaming with pride. Now, over the years, I've gotten to learn some fun facts about her. And I realize that we share a lot in common. For example, she loves to dance, loves country music. She always does carry-on when she travels, like me. Even if she's going to Europe for 2 weeks, much to the shock of our friends who have traveled with us and who pack multiple bags, including personal blow dryers. She's low maintenance. She enjoys a glass of Prosecco, and we both share the same celebrity crush. That's Brad. Now, however, that's kind of where the similarities end, because unlike me, she's an athlete, as Chris mentioned. She's competed in countless marathons and half marathons and done not one, but 2 full Ironman triathlons, where you swim, bike, and run 140 miles all in the same day. Not for me. So given what I've just told you, is it any wonder that she has the qualifications, discipline, and stamina to run a county-wide race? Now, it's very appropriate that we're celebrating her investiture today, because I know that this month is very special for her and John, because it's the month that Sophia and Lucas were born. And of all her accomplishments, and we know that she has many, her children are by far the most special. Those 2 were her secret weapon on the campaign trail. I remember talking to her about the challenges of a county-wide race, and her telling me that what she wanted to make sure was that her kids knew that in life, win or lose, what counts is doing your best and doing it with integrity. And Alicia, I know that Sophia and Lucas know that from watching you and John since the day they were born. But they certainly learned that from watching you this past summer. Alicia, we are so extremely proud of you. You've worked for everything you've achieved. The struggles, my friend, were worth it. And you are living your dreams, reaping the fruits of your labor. You bring to the bench your life and professional experiences, your love for the law and for your community, your humility, your compassion, and your integrity. And I know that I speak for all of our friends who are here today and those who could not be with us, that we are thrilled to share this very special day with you. And we wish you Godspeed. Congratulations.
I noticed Alejandro Lopez's face when you mentioned the big blow dryer. And now for further personal remarks on behalf of the judge's family and friends. Former colleague, but more relevant today, he is the judge's husband, and Sophia and Lucas's father, John Priovolos.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, my name is Sophia Vula Prio. Oh, wait a second. That's not mine. That's yours. Let me put that away. We'll get to that in a minute. Thank you all for indulging me for just a couple of minutes. It won't take very long, but I thought that this might be an opportunity that instead of speaking to you all about my wife, that I'd speak to my kids. I thought that might make a little bit more sense for them. Sophia, Lucas, look around. Okay, not literally. And that's kind of part of the problem, right? When you raise kids, you're two lawyers raising children. I mean, they take everything literally, right? In this room, there's some of the most influential people in this community. They're here to celebrate your mom. Let that sink in for a second. You're going to remember this day. When your mom was your age, she only dreamed of having the opportunity to sit in that chair. Against all odds, your mom rose to the challenge. She didn't quit. She never quits. In the last year, you learned a lot about your mom's life. You learned about how she grew up. You learned about her struggles. And you learned about her triumphs. You need to know that your mom is a superhero. She could have been anything she wanted to be, but she chose this. She chose to give back to her community, to your community, to our community. You see, mom doesn't really have a job. She never has. She has a purpose, a God-given one, and she's fulfilling it. It's important for you to hear this today. Mom and I always tell you how proud we are of you. Today, Mom, it's your turn. We are incredibly proud of you. Sophia, Lucas, what will you do? Who will you be? What will you do for our community? I didn't hear that. Say that louder.
Give back of maybe what we have took.
Okay, very good. You want to answer that too?
Helping the poor, making sure people are safe.
Okay, I'll take it. You know, that was meant to be a rhetorical question, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, in my house, that doesn't exist. Everything's literal. It's my fault. Well, like the challenge that was passed down to us by our parents, I'm going to pass that along to you. I challenge you. Will you step up to the challenge? Will you work hard? Will you stay focused on your purpose? Will you fail?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Will you get up when you fall?
Yeah.
Okay. Will you ultimately succeed? Will you fight for what's right? Will you uplift the people around you in your community? Your mom did that and more. She'll never give up. We love you, Mom. You want to say something? You good? You want to read it? All right. So I was reading Sophia's speech before, and I apologize, but she's put something together.
Hi, my name is Alicia Garcia Priovolos, and I appreciate you all for coming. We've all worked really hard to get to this moment. I've always knew that my mom's campaign would be hard, but I never truly understood it till we all went through it. Whether it was talking to voters, making a sign, or screaming, "Vote for my mom!" It made me realize what hard work actually is. So if it was hard for me, remember, I'm just a kid. Imagine how hard it was for my mom. I want to thank all the people in the community that supported my mom. Mom, I'm so proud of you. I love you very much, and I wish you all the best. May God bless you all.
I love you, Mom.
I think we're all going to need a moment after that. That was amazing. Thank you. And now, for the oath of office and robing, I would like to ask our own alum of the circuit bench and now 3rd District Court of Appeal Judge Monica Gordo to join the family and Judge Priovolos at the podium. Welcome back up, husband and kids, John, Sophia, and Lucas, sister Christina Garcia, brother Dr. Alexander Garcia, and father Ramon Garcia.
Chief Judge Safey, colleagues, friends, family, community leaders, so many friends that were my colleagues at different stages of my career. I moved today. I didn't think I was going to get so moved. But I have known Judge Garcia Priovolos for 17 years. And I knew her before she was Priovolos. I knew her when she was a Spanish girl. And she may not remember this, but when she first came to the state attorney's office, you know, everybody comes to meet the new guys. Everybody comes to kind of see, what do we have in the chopping block here? And back then, Alicia stood out so specifically. First, she was an introvert, which I happen to be a lot like. And second, she was Spanish, which while I'm Cuban, half Cuban American, the other half of me is very, very, very Spanish. And Alicia and I have a lot in common. I just want to say that you've gotten to see and feel that everybody in this room loves Alicia, for those of you that don't know her that well. But what I can tell you is, aside from the great intellect and the things you're hearing about her, she is an incredible human being. I have no doubt she's going to serve her community with distinction. I can't wait to read the transcripts from her courtroom. But very importantly, and as you can see, she's an incredible daughter, wife, mother, loyal friend, and I'm just so proud to be here. Thank you for honoring me with allowing me to give you the oath of office. You guys were the star of the show.
Thank you.
All right, please raise your right hand. Put your name on the Bible. There you go. All right,
I, Alicia Garcia Priovolos,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
protect, and defend
protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the government of the United States of America
and the government of the United States of America
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state of Florida,
under the Constitution of the state of Florida,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of judge
the duties of judge
of the county court
of the county court
of the 11th Judicial Circuit
of the 11th Judicial Circuit
of the state of Florida,
of the state of Florida,
on which I am now about to enter.
of which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Everybody please be seated.
Oh boy. All right, so I have my tissues. Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. Chief Judge, fellow judges, colleagues, elected officials, friends and family, thank you for taking the time to be here with me today. I am truly humbled by your presence, and I am overwhelmed with emotion. Today's speakers, thank you for your beautiful speeches. Thank you for going out of your way to look more about me. And I'm sorry that I didn't provide you with enough information, but yes, that is actually very true of me. Chris, you rocked it. And Marie, thank you so much for being a wonderful friend and a supporter of mine. I am blessed to have you in my life. Friends, as I stand before you, I still can't believe I'm here. The truth hasn't fully sunk in yet that I am a judge. This week, I conducted my first jury trial, so Monica, you will be getting some transcripts soon. It was my first week on the bench by myself, and I was told my calendar had been cleared. Don't worry, you're having your investiture this week. It's all taken care of. And as I'm in court on Monday, an attorney comes in and says, "Judge, we have a special set trial today." And I said, "What? Who? How?" And she tells me, "Yes, and we flew in witnesses." And so I said, "Okay, hold on." So I got off the bench and I called my colleagues, and I won't say who said, but they're like, "Just continue it. Continue it. It's your investiture." And I said, "Okay." I hung up and I said, "Okay, what time are we starting?" So on Wednesday at 8:30 at night, we got a verdict. But what's interesting is that as I was sitting there on the bench and the attorneys were making argument during this trial, there was one point in the trial where I'm attentively listening to the attorneys and I hear, "Objection!" And I wait for like 2 seconds and I'm like, why isn't the judge responding? And then I'm like, wait, I'm the judge! And in fact, I had a Judge Martinez sit in with me and she nudged me and I'm like, "Oh, got it, I got it." So it's still, as we sit here today, it's still an unreal feeling. But thank you. Thank you, colleagues. They say it takes a village to raise a child. And today, I want to take this moment to thank my village, all of you. Those of you that are here today, those of you that are watching from your offices, my family in Spain, Diana, I love you. My friends in California and Colorado who are watching, you are my village. You helped me become who I am today. And I would not be here were it not for your love, your support, your teachings, your mentorship, and your encouragement. Last night and this morning, I was flooded with text messages, with many of them with well wishes. Others reminded me to enjoy every minute of today, because today was my day. While I am incredibly grateful for your messages, I dissent. Today is not my day. Friends, family, and colleagues, today is your day. Today, I honor you. And I rise for you. Everything you helped me accomplish, all the doors you helped me walk through, all the experiences we went together, you got me through the hardships, and I'm blessed to have you as my village. To FIU Law School, and those that made FIU Law School possible, I'm here today thanks to you. Were it not for FIU Law School opening their doors in 2002, I wouldn't have been able to afford law school or be the public servant that I've been for the last 17 years. Oof. To my law school friends who became my family, could you believe it's been 20 years? We were there, stuck in one room at the Green Library. I still have PTSD from being stuck in that room for so many hours. It was one room, that's all we had when the law school opened. Dean Mason, thank you for being our school mom and looking after us. To my friends at the SAO family, before I left, you asked me, whatever you do, don't let the robe change you. Well, I'm happy to report you have nothing to worry about. Nothing has changed. I am still the first one to arrive, and I am still the last one to leave. To Judge Julio Jimenez's family, I want you to know that Judge Julio Jimenez's legacy lives on. Everything he taught me, all of his words of wisdom, they resonated with me this week while I was in trial. I am a better judge today because of him. To my dear friends who I got to share the title of Julio's Princesses with, you are my sisters. I love you. To my text chat girlfriends, thank you for all of your chats that often made me spit out the coffee I was drinking or made me cry out with laughter. I love you. Kathy, thank you for trusting me, for mentoring me, and for pushing me to become better. When they go low, we go high. Michael, thank you for calming my nerves during trial, trying cases with me while I was pregnant and while I was losing my mom. Thank you for always being there. To the law enforcement officers that I worked with on a daily basis, thank you for your service. And while your calls in the middle of the night often caused me sleepless nights, our community is safer because of the work that you do. So thank you. To the hundreds of supporters that helped me during my campaign, thank you for believing in me. To my Greek family, thank you for loving me. To my Greek mom, thank you for always coming to my defense and for being such a great yaya to our kids. And yes, the movie is true. To my mom, who is now in heaven, you were the first one to believe in me. You made me feel like I could do anything. I love you and miss you. Dad, you worked endless hours waiting tables. You worked every Christmas, every New Year's, every holiday to ensure we had a roof over our heads and food at the table. Thank you for the sacrifices you made. The work ethic you displayed now lives through me and will continue with my children. To my sisters, Christina and Diana, and my brother, Alex, thank you for your unconditional love and support. Sofia and Lucas, words cannot describe how proud I am of you. I had no idea this was gonna happen, and you guys were phenomenal. I love you, and I love you the most. To my husband, John, you are the best husband and father I could have ever asked for. I am a better person because of you. As a little girl, I always tried to envision what my Prince Charming would look like. All I can say is he's got nothing on you. In closing, I would like to leave all of you with this. Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Every day, I pray that each and every person that walks into the courtroom I preside in leaves feeling heard, respected, and feeling like they were treated fairly. May God continue to bless everyone here and your families. Thank you.
So welcome to the bench, Judge Garcia Priovolos. I think I can say, I speak on behalf of all of us, that if you can run swim, whatever it is, the 2 Ironman triathlons, the job is very hard and challenging, but I think it's easier than that. So I think you're gonna be okay. I also think I can tell Sophia that she's probably gonna have some job offers on the way up the door. But I started my career out as a public defender. You were still a state attorney. And I do remember, the one thing you always remember is that, who's on the case, who's got the case, whether you're a PD or whether you're a judge. And when Alicia's name was mentioned on the case, either as an adversary or as the division chief, sometimes on cases when I was a judge, there was that sigh of relief because you knew that the case was going to be handled well. You knew it was going to be handled professionally. What she just said is true. She made you feel like you were going to be okay. And she practiced law with not just with her brains, but with heart. And she never forgot that she was dealing with human beings. And that is the most important thing, I think, in a prosecutor, and it's certainly the most important thing in a judge. And she hit the ground running this week. This is probably a record. I don't know many people. And in true PD ASA fashion, right? Day one, oh yeah, don't worry, it'll be fine. Here's a file, go to trial. So I'm sure across the Justice Building, they were like, aha, see, this is how it goes, Judge Priovolos. Both sides ready, let's go. So congratulations, we're so happy to have you. On behalf of all of your new brothers and sisters on the bench, we welcome you. On behalf of the 11th Judicial Circuit of Florida, thank you all so much for being with us today. For those of you who'd like to greet the judge and her family, please come forward, and you're going to be exiting to your right, and court is now in recess.
Thank you.